Hey everyone, Mandolin here with the Art of Pain. Yes, I am a brunette now. The red, though I loved it, was ruining the integrity of my hair, and although I live in mania a lot of the time, I still know that it was killing it and I want to grow it long. So yeah, I'm brunette. That's out of the way now. What I want to talk about is something that I take very seriously, and I just don't understand why I keep seeing instances of this happening, and also to speak just a little bit about why I am the way that I am. Alright, so we've all seen movies that have villains, right? Every single villain you see more than likely has a terrible, tragic, awful backstory, right? They were not born that way. They were created that way over time, either by bullying or bad home life or both, being a social outcast, whatever. So these people, these villains in movies, are all out for the same thing, really. They want revenge. They want the world to see what it has done to them, and they want to hurt the world back. Well, although that's understandable and relatable, it's not cool. And I keep seeing instances of victims, survivors as I like to call them, turning into villains. And that might seem silly, that might seem absolutely ridiculous, but listen, okay, listen to me. As someone who grew up with a big family, then had a divorce when I was about 8, completely changing my life, then going to live with my mother that I barely knew because we each had a half an hour to an hour apiece with her each day, and that was it. That was our time with her. So after the divorce, the person she married wasn't my dad. I thought he was most of my life. Turns out he wasn't. Whatever. After moving with my mom, the only children that were not her ex-husbands were myself and my older sister. So we moved with my mom. Our old dad couldn't keep us. And my sister learned pretty early on that my mother was not reliable. She wasn't going to be there. She wasn't going to feed us. She left. So for a few years, though I was one of 6, truly one of 7, but I didn't find out about my brother overseas until I was much older, I was an only child. I went to school on my own. I walked back on my own. I sat at home on my own most of the time, because my mother didn't want to be there. She was out with her friends. She was doing this, she was doing that. And if I could tell you, if I could count how many times I had fallen asleep looking at the window, waiting for her to come home, because I knew at 10, 11, 12 that she drank. And I also knew, because I had gone through the DARE program and obviously just wasn't an idiot, about drunk driving. I knew that that was a bad thing. I knew that drinking plus driving equaled drunk driving. And most of my nights were spent waiting for her to come home, looking out the window, looking at each and every car. Because although I was alone, I didn't have cable. I did not have a phone to contact anybody. It was my biggest fear for such a long time that she would die and that she didn't tell people about me, so I wouldn't have even known until like way later. That was my biggest fear growing up until I got myself removed from her at 14. I wasn't removed, I removed myself. Think about that, right? So we'll take that, and obviously the abuse that I've suffered that some people have called tragic, heinous. I heard that in the courtroom. Just really bad, okay? Really, really awful stuff that most of it I'm going to go to my grave with, because I don't really see the point in sharing it. It is truly awful, and I just don't understand how people take these terrible, tragic events. And I'm not saying that mine are worse than anybody's. I'm just saying I don't know how you can take that, all that pain and animosity and anger and sadness and whatever, and then unleash that onto the world. I don't understand. I don't understand. I actually tried to befriend somebody who I thought we were at a similar place, and we're not, and that's fine. Everybody grows at their own pace, but when you invite the public eye into it, when you slander people openly or try to just hurt people back the way that you were hurt, whether or not it was your abuser. I don't talk to my mom. Why? Because she was mean to me. She was mean to me. And even though I was the only kid that she had custody of out of the 6 that came out of her, she still couldn't be there for me. She still could not be there for me. And I live with that. And sometimes I cry about it. It's not easy. But I've never friggin' once, since I've been older, when I was a little kid, I was a dick. And I'll admit that. I was mean. I was real mean because I didn't understand the world around me. But now that I do, now that I'm an adult, I never thought to take those feelings and then just unleash them onto the world. That's actually kind of the total opposite of what I do. And for that reason, I've been butting heads with people recently because they just think, well, it was done to me, or, well, this happened to me, why can't I do this to you? Oh, well, I went through this isn't so bad. No. Fuck you. I never ever swear on my videos, ever. This is the first time, but honest to God, fuck yourself. That's the bottom line. How could you unleash more pain onto the world knowing how much you suffered? Why would you do that to someone else? We get it. We all get it. And sometimes people like villains more than the heroes, depending on the story. But I don't. I don't like villains. I don't want to become one. I don't want to associate with them. If you think that you are here to perpetually hurt other people because you have been hurt, no. You are turning into the monster you are trying to shy away from because you're allowing that to fester in you and turn it outwards. You're letting it bubble out. Your mask is slipping, and I really, truly hope you get help. I really do. The only reason I gave you my backstory here was to let you know that I understand pain every day. Every day I understand pain, and I have nothing in common with those who inflict it onto others because they have also dealt with it. Wouldn't you want to shield people from it? Like, prevent them from going through what you went through because you knew how bad it hurt? Why then would you take it out on others? I don't get it. I don't get it. I've been trying to get through this video for like a week now, but every time I started to practice by myself, I would start crying. So I'm doing really good. Doing really good with this. I don't know. I don't even really have a point to this aside from how fed up I am from seeing the world. And it's not just a few people. It's the whole world now. It's the whole world. Everybody is mad. And they're making it everybody else's problem when everybody else is also mad or sad or going through their own things. You're not special. Going through trauma does not make you special. I'm sorry. It doesn't make me special either. I'm not special. I just care enough to do this. That's all. You're not special. You're not entitled to treat the world like a friggin' dumpster. Like, no, it's not acceptable to me, and I will fight it every single time I see it. I don't care what you went through if that made you into a dick. I don't care. I don't care that the world hardened you and that you want to inflict the same pain onto other people. I have nothing in common with you. I have nothing in common with you. And that might be because I suppress my emotions and I turn them inwardly, and generally they turn into self-loathing instead of anger. And that's not really the right way to deal with it either. But guess what? Attacking people, insulting them, berating them, especially publicly, or defending people that you don't even know that are abusers. I don't care what they went through. You injure a child, I don't care what you went through. You know right from wrong, don't you? If you wake up every day, brush your teeth, get ready for the day, and can function in every other aspect as an adult, it's just your emotions that you can't take care of. Check yourself. Check yourself before you infect the world with your poison, because I am your anti-hero, okay? I don't care. I don't care. Save your excuses if you are willing to go out and hurt the world because you've been hurt, and justify it that way. Oh, well, I know I did this horrible thing to you, but guess what? People did horrible things to me. You can handle it. It's fine. Not acceptable. I will cease contact so quickly, and it's not even necessarily out of anger. It's that I don't have anything in common with you. We don't have a common goal. I thought we did. We don't. We don't. You want to hurt people. I want to help. That's all.